You ready?
You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, now we're going to bring up the columnist for the locker room, BillySchweim.com. He's a graduate from Rowan University.
Go Profs.
Let's go to the sports hotline and welcome in Mike Doctorovitz. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. How are we feeling?
All right, Mike, I've been reading your articles. You've been doing a great job on the locker room, BillySchweim.com, as my new columnist. And very good.
Thank you.
I want to ask you a question. We'll start right off with this because you wrote in your article that you were in favor of the standing ovation of cheering for Trey Turner, but you didn't want a pity party.
Correct.
All right. So Mike Gill, who's the anchor and host of the show during the week, the Sports Bash with Mike Gill from 2 to 6. He's also our program director. He said, "Should the Philly fans retire the boo?" Mike Doctorovitz, what say you?
Not to be disrespectful, but that is a crazy asinine take.
Why do you say that?
You got to let them know when they're not performing up to their standards. I'm not a big money guy anymore. You know, the money's the money. They're going to get paid either way. But, you know, when you look at the numbers for Trey Turner, just his career numbers,
right?
That's what's bothering me. Is he's been a career top hitter in the league for years, and now he comes here. And I think the fact that contracts are public and everybody knows how much he's making really got to him mentally. So when I say I want, the standing ovation but no pity party, I want the fans to have his back. I think that was necessary.
I actually – listen, Mike, I got to be honest with you. I really believe that helped his psyche because we talked about this yesterday in the program. Danny and I alluded to it today. We don't know what's going on in his personal life. We don't know – you don't know, obviously, if the money is affecting him when you get in a slump anyway as a ball player. People are superstitious. You go through routines and you can't figure it out. He's mired in a slump. There's a myriad of reasons why he's in this thing. But I got to believe that the standing ovation helped him.
I think it helped him, and I think that, when I say no pity party, I don't like the people that say, "Oh, I feel bad for Trey Turner." Like, okay, little Johnny, you're getting paid $12.50 to cut the lawn at Pensacola Country Club. He's getting paid $30 million a year to play baseball. Don't feel bad for him. You can have his back, but you don't need to feel bad.
I wouldn't retire the boo.
Me neither.
I would not retire the boo. I think that's the fans' right to show their displeasure when you're not performing up to the level. But where Trey Turner is a different place. Would you agree,
Yeah,
Danny?
you can't boo Trey Turner at this point in time, but you can't retire the boo from Philadelphia because that's Philadelphia's native language.
Right.
I mean, come on, the boo.
The boo birds. I mean, that's where it all started.
You want to know who you could and should boo. And, Billy, you're going to agree with this one.
Oh, I know who's coming up. Ready?
Give me Kyle Schwarber.
Oh, my God. Yeah, but wait a second. Mike Gill, when I went back and forth with Mike on this, I mean, and Josh yesterday, the Phillies' record is, 35-20 with him as a leadoff hitter.
It's so peculiar.
Well, I mean, yeah.
How do you mess with – they're winning. Look, I can't justify the fact that Kyle Schwarber is batting 176, albeit he's got 27 home runs, and his RBI total would be a lot higher, say, if he was hitting that in the third, fourth, or fifth spot. But their record overall, what did Tommy Green say? You can't mess. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I hate the people that say, well, at least he's walking and he's getting on base. Well, we didn't pay him to walk.
That's right. He's got 27 home runs, and he only has, 67 RBIs or something like that.
Well, he's walking and he's getting on base, but he's not having the steal numbers he had in years past either.
Right.
So if he's not hitting for power, really, not hitting for huge contact at all because he's batting in the 230s, he's not stealing bases. What is he doing? He's not even fielding right now. I mean, obviously, you hope he can turn it around, but you paid him for all these things. You're not getting really any of them consistently.
You want to know what you are getting from him, though, is, he's a good leader. He's a really good clubhouse guy, so I guess, that counts for something, obviously. But what really helps now is, Rob Thompson putting Alec Boehm second in the lineup has really helped. Kyle Schwarber walks. Now it means more because there's an actual two-hole hitter behind him.
Well, Schwarber had one walk and one strikeout. And we talked about this earlier. He's striking out. His strikeout rate is 29.4%, and the league average is only 22.
Yeah, it's not great. Not great. Mike, question for you real quick while we have you. I mean, we talked about Kyle Schwarber, his struggles just in the average department, but the power's there. And, the topic all season long has been, should Kyle Schwarber be in the leadoff spot? Should he not? And they tried it without him in the leadoff spot with Trey Turner there. It didn't work out. One guy I want to see them try in the leadoff spot, and I'm sure you might agree with me. What do you think about Bryson Stott in the one hole?
Yeah, I think Bryson Stott is the typical leadoff hitter. If you look back on the history of leadoff hitters, he is the guy. He walks well. He takes a lot of pitches, too. His at-bats are very rarely.
Yeah, he runs deep counts.
Yeah, he runs deep counts, and he'll get the pitcher working. So I think he's the typical leadoff hitter, and he's also batting, 301? So.
Yep. He's been the most consistent batter in the Phillies lineup all season long. People want to say that Bohm is the most consistent. He got hot recently. He wasn't hitting nearly this good a month ago. Bryson Stott has been the most patient, the most disciplined, the best vision at the plate, and he's had the best contact all season long. Obviously the most consistent batter. Would you say the same?
I would say the same. I think Alec Bohm right now is on a tear, though.
He is.
But consistently it has been Bryson Stott. And, what we were expecting this year from Alec Bohm was, the power. And we're not really getting that to an extent. Mm-hmm. Only 11 home runs, but he has 71 RBIs. So, he's been the guy.
If he can finish with 20 home runs, 100-plus RBIs, that's an outstanding season for a guy who we didn't even expect to be batting in the 270s a few seasons ago.
Yep. Yeah, especially, that I think it was the 2020 or 2021 season, he was struggling mightily. He wasn't even – was he the starter last year at third base on opening day? I don't believe he was.
No.
I'll check that for you.
We're talking with Mike Doctorovitz, columnist for The Locker Room with The Locker Room, BillySchweim.com. Check out his work there. I think you drop your stories every Tuesday and Thursday. The Locker Room, BillySchweim.com. You can read Mike Doctorovitz there. Mike, let's talk about the Birds real quick. Not really. It's so funny because the Phillies are 9 games above 500. They're in the middle of a playoff, and the Eagles are started. It's like, I got to be honest with you, we talk just as much Phillies as we do Eagles, if not more.
I'm a victim of that. Once the Eagles training camp starts, I'm on football fever, and the Phillies become less and less relevant.
But not this year. It seems like it's 50-50.
Yeah, I still pay attention a lot, but it'll always be a football town to me. So once the Eagles start, I feel like, tonight's the open practice. And I know a lot of people that are going to go to the Phillies game at 1 o'clock, and then they're going to walk across the street and go to the open practice.
Talk about a doubleheader.
Yeah, I know. It's a long day. It's a long day.
Green Bay, did you see Green Bay had 66,000 people show up at their
that's unbelievable, dude.
66,000 people.
We'll have probably 40,000.
And if any fan base should have that amount,
what are you doing?
Eagles.
Seriously, what are you doing? You're landlocked in Green Bay.
Yeah,
you go to the lake.
True. You're going to
Where are you going to go? What are you going to do in Green Bay?
Ride around in the bed of a truck drinking beer and go to the Packers
Take
open practice.
A four-wheeler out, one of those.
Go quadding.
Go quadding.
They wanted to see how Jordan Love would look.
Hell, they can't even ice fish right now. It's summertime.
By the way, to your point, Mike, Alec Bohm did not play third base on opening day last year. It was Bryson Stott playing third base, batting 8th. He wasn't in the opening day lineup.
Right? Was that right?
Just last year, opening day against the Oakland Athletics.
Look, how about? And here's another thing about the Philly fan. Let's talk about the Philly fan. This is 2 years now in a row because if I was at the game, remember he was quoted as Bohm was walking off the field. You could see his lips say, I bleep and hate this place. Yep. And I went to that very next game. I guess it was against the Mets. And the Philly fans, it was unscripted because you didn't see anybody talking about it on social media because it was a day game the next day. And he got a standing ovation for owning what he said.
Exactly.
And nobody, now leading up, this is a different situation with Trey Turner. People talked about it on social media. It was gathering strength. And then when they came home, they gave him a standing ovation. With Alec Bohm, that was unscripted. That came from the fans' hearts.
Yep.
What's going on in Philadelphia? Are we getting a softening of the fan?
There were a lot of people saying...
I was there that day.
There were a lot of people saying that they felt the Trey Turner standing ovation wasn't genuine, that it kind of felt like a Ben Simmons treatment. But the thing with Trey Turner is that, he has taken responsibility. When that game against Miami in the 12th inning where he completely blew it, or the 11th inning where he completely blew it. Dylan Covey should have had a save there.
By the way, Mike, I talked to you about this before, but that play, it looked routine from the camera. If you put yourself in the situation as a shortstop,
I'm giving him an error. I saw you say that in our group text. I'm giving him he gets an error on that.
yeah, balls.
He gets an error on that.
He does, but the ball's slicing away from him. It's coming out at 110 miles per hour.
But he
tries to backhand it.
Yeah,
He's got to keep it in front of him.
Yeah, he's got to keep exactly, Mike.
I agree.
That's why I have him as a columnist. He knows what he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have to make the play, but he just has to keep it in front of him. Because if he keeps it in front of him, well, the next batter hits a pop fly.
He didn't even knock it down, Danny.
Let's get Mike Dock out in the field. See how he does.
Hey, 609.
I used to play a mean center field.
609-403-0973. If you want to get in the running for a Kelly Green locker room T-shirt, ESPN locker room T-shirt, contribute to the show here with a Phillies or an Eagles comment, and make sure you incorporate your name and where you're from and your shirt size.
Mike, real quick, I want to pick your brain a little bit about the Eagles training camp so far. And I know you were at the open practice just this past week when Jalen Hurts had a little bit of a back-and-forth moment with Nick Sirianni, really just Sirianni ripping into him, and then Jalen doing the amount of push-ups has kind of been fabricated. Was it 10 push-ups? Was it 50? How many did he do in that open practice to make up for not handing the ball to the ref?
It looked like it was a quick 10. Sirianni, first of all, wasn't happy with how he rolled out to his right, and he kind of seemed to try to force it. Well, before that, he rolled out to his left, threw a pass to A.J. Brown that was tipped easily by Reed Blankenship and should have been picked off, but wasn't. A.J. came down with it. A couple plays later, he rolled out to the right, threw that pass towards Dallas Goedert, but it went right in the Slay's hands. So I think Sirianni was mad about the decision-making, and then not handing the ball to the ref was like tip of the iceberg. Made him do push-ups. It didn't look like it was 50.
How do you feel about that, though, Billy? I love that.
Well, let me ask you this question, since I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Was it scripted? Like, do you think it was like?
No.
Was it genuine?
No, that had to have been genuine.
No, I think it was. I've heard that he has been rough on everybody with simple mistakes all during training camp. He's got a megaphone out there. He's cursing he's cursing and he is loud.
I love that though, Billy, because you have huge expectations to live up to. I'm not going to have some wuss man in the team. I'm sorry.
No, I hear you. Well, no,
he's got to have a backbone.
But,
well,
guys, in today's day of age of the snowflake, you got to watch out how you handle these guys because you can create a mutiny.
Well, Jalen Hurts loves to be coached hard. His dad was his coach. He loves to be, he loves to be coached. So I think he's fine with it. And I think when everyone sees that he's fine with it, if he can be publicly, scrutinized, I think everyone else should, take a look at that.
Billy, right before we get out of here and let Mike go, imagine if Nick Sirianni or even Doug Peterson did that to Carson Wentz. How would he react to that? Go crying go crying his camper when he's hunting.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, Mike Doctorovitz, we really appreciate you taking time. Of course, you can catch all of Mike's work on the website, thelockerroombillyschweim.com. Every Tuesday and Thursday, his story drops. Check it out there. Mike, thanks a lot, and continue the good work.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Everyone have a good day. Go Birds.
There he is, Mike Doctorovitz.